In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to generate an endpoint that updates file permissions. We'll start with a file that currently has private permissions, preventing us from viewing its contents. Our goal is to create an endpoint that allows us to manage these file permissions effectively. First, navigate to the API page in your Twidget account. Once there, click on the Create Endpoint button, and then select Manage Files from the options available. Next, choose Modify Permissions for a list of files and proceed by clicking Create. Now, let's navigate to the newly created endpoint to configure it. This endpoint is set up to require a body that includes a list of file paths along with a permissions value, which can either be set to public or private. To test out this endpoint, head over to the API client. Here, create a new API request and select the Update Permissions endpoint. Make sure to change the data type to JSON. In the JSON input, we need to enter the file paths and the permissions value. For this example, we'll set the permissions value to public. Next, let's navigate to the File Manager to copy the file path of the existing file we want to update. Once we have the file path, we can paste it into the list of paths in our API request. Remember, you can add multiple file paths if you need to update permissions for several files at once, but for this demonstration, we will only use one. Now, let's click the Send button to execute our request. Once the request is processed, we'll see a message indicating that the request was successful. Let's return to the File Manager and attempt to view the file again. As you can see, the file is now visible since we have successfully updated its permissions to public. In summary, we have walked through the steps to generate an endpoint that updates file permissions, allowing you to manage access to your files effectively.